if I could take it back, I won't. How about that? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. If you want me to apologize and bow down on my knees and apologize, I refuse.
1 week later.
So I apologize, you guys, and I will no longer talk about your statue or touch it ever again.
Well, guys, it looks like we're back once again, and it is all due to the simple fact that some people just cannot help themselves but to look like the biggest troglodytes on the damn internet. So with that said, we have some really big and pathetic updates with one of the biggest clowns that I believe I have ever seen. And that's saying a lot. I mean, just look at some of the people that I've gone out and covered. And this guy is so much of a clown that I have begun to personally refer to him as a Jack Doherty clone. And I believe this is a very fitting title, due to the fact that he is not only built like a child, just like Jack Doherty, but also because they both love to act like children too. And by now, I'm sure you all know who I'm referring to, but if you don't, it would be a man that goes by Johnny Somali. And if you haven't watched my last video and you're not all caught up on the lore, Johnny here has insulted the entire Korean people by not only just going around and screwing with people on multiple different occasions, but also just deciding to pretend to finger blast a statue that they have there known as the Comfort Woman statue, which was created to honor women during World War II who were victims of SA. So he decided to pretend to fuck it, and is now possibly facing 10 years in prison for just a variety of different charges that he decided to film himself committing. And that's not even where the consequences ended, because he also managed to get his ass whooped on 3 different occasions by people who were pissed off with him. So my guy pretty much played games until he found out. And now he's just delivering yet again a bullshit apology to another nation just to get himself out of the consequences that he created. And just pretty much decides to lie. Like, he is just out here bold-face bullshitting. So we're gonna go ahead and look at what this moron has to say and see just how real this apology truly is.
To all the people of South Korea, I just want to apologize for what I've done, and I really did not mean to hurt your guys' pride this much. You guys are a good people, you guys are a great people, and for the most part, other than Mr. Navy SEAL here, I've had a great experience with a lot of the South Korean people, and it was not my intention to really hurt you guys, and I hope you guys can accept my apology. And I'm a young person, I want to grow as a man. I made a mistake, and I think when you make a mistake in life, you need to own up to it.
Yeah, this shit's already disingenuous as fuck. Because the only reason that he is actually out here owning up to it is because the moron got caught. And he is just terrified that he's gonna end up going to Korean prison, where they're gonna be out here doing the same shit to him as he was doing to that statue. So I mean, shit, I'd be terrified too. Because we've already seen what people with freedom are doing out here in the street. So just imagine what someone who has nothing to lose would end up doing to this guy. And you may think that I'm just making this assumption, but the energy change that he is bringing is absolutely wild. Because only a few days ago, he was out here saying this bullshit right here.
Hanguk, Hanguk, I love Korea, and try to find me. I dare you. You never will. So good fucking luck. That's all I want to say to you guys. You guys only saw me dancing with the statue, and honestly, if I could take it back, I won't. How about that? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. If you want me to apologize and bow down on my knees and apologize, I refuse. I won't. So what are you gonna do about it? You gonna kill me? You gonna kill me? You're gonna kill me for dancing with a metal fucking bronze statue? Get fucking over it. That's what I need to fucking say. If you think I'm gonna sit here and fucking make a fake apology, and if you think I'm gonna sit here and like cry about it and make a nonsense, I am not sorry. I'm not. I'm not.
So he just had all of this crazy energy about how he's not sorry and about how you can come try and find him, up until the point where they actually found his ass. And then all of a sudden, when he's worried about having to lick something else instead of that can in prison, he's out here ready to get on his knees and apologize. Which is fair enough, I guess. I'd rather get on my knees and say sorry than to get on my knees for something else, if you know what I'm saying. But all jokes aside, it is genuinely astonishing that he was willing to change up this fast. And if he would have done this a lot sooner, before he went on his little rants and tangents about how he's not actually sorry, I bet this apology would get received 10 times better. But as we can tell, Johnny here doesn't have good enough decision making to be able to make that call. So now he's stuck in this type of situation to where he just has to apologize later on and hope that it gets him the hell out of South Korea.
So I apologize, you guys, and I will no longer talk about your statue or touch it ever again. I hope that I can live in peace here in South Korea and we could get past the situation and use it as a learning situation, because a lot of people learned about this statue from this situation, bad or good. A lot of people from all over the world found out what this was from my action.
There ain't no way he is trying to justify what he did by saying that it taught people about the statue. That is actually incredible. My man managed to turn an apology into, hey, what I did isn't so bad, because it angered so many people that it spread around the world and now everyone knows about this statue. That is just another level of capping. Like my guy, there are much easier ways to get info like this about history out without dry humping and rubbing your ass on it, much less pretending to finger it. I just can't believe he just tried to say that stupid shit. That is crazy. Even when he is saying sorry, he just can't help but to try and defend his terrible actions. This is on the same level as me going up to something like the Lincoln Memorial and then rubbing my nuts on Lincoln's face, all so that I can say I was trying to spread awareness about the memorial. Except in this situation, it might be worse because the statue was to honor SA victims. And Johnny here decided to honor them by just going out and actively SAing the statue.
I mean, I'm sincere. I mean it. Because, like I'm saying, as a man, it doesn't take nothing to realize I'm wrong. But for a whole country's pride to be hurt, it's not a big thing for me to say I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But it will mean a lot to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Koreans, not just in Korea, but around the world. So I made a mistake, and I just want to own up to it. I apologize.
All right, thank you.
What the Japanese Imperial Army did was very evil, and they need to pay for the crimes that they did, and I should not make light of that, and hopefully Japan apologizes to Korea one day for the war crimes that they did to Korea.
And this would actually not be too terrible of an apology if it wasn't so hard to actually believe him. Because not too long ago, he was also forced to apologize to Japan after he did some real insulting shit there. And then as soon as he left, he was on his bullshit again. So I'm sure as soon as this gets him out of Korea, he's just gonna start yapping again like he always does. And then on top of that, I would have a lot easier of a time actually trusting what he's saying if we didn't have recordings of him out here actively saying crazy out-of-pocket shit like this about the statue.
This is this is really what the Korean comfort women were. I trust the Japanese more than y'all. If you look into the documentation, if you really want to talk about the comfort women, the Korean comfort women were prostitutes that were used by the American soldiers. They were used by, you know what I mean? They were illegally paid. Honestly, I think the Japanese soldiers were paid 7 yen a month, and the comfort women were paid 300, 400 yen a month. If you go back in time, and that's enough to buy a house, if you do for inflation. So these bitches were rich. These were some of the richest in Korea. If we being honest, like, you know what? I'm trying to come back to Japan. You know, I'm banned from Japan for 5 years. So hopefully, me doing this, now the Japanese embassy, they gonna let me come back. You know what I mean? I'm hoping if I do this, I'm really hoping the Japanese gonna let me come back. I swear to God, man, I love Japan.
So the change up is just unreal. Like, it's genuinely unreal. I thought the other clip was a crazy change, but then when you look at how he said shit like this before as well, you can just see how this guy will say anything to make a little bit of cash and then to get himself out of a bad situation. Like, there's just no pride, honor, nothing. There's no code. He'll just say what he has to survive. And it's just amazing how he put himself in the middle of a conflict that has spanned for such a long period of time and managed to piss off both sides of that conflict. I don't know why he would want to do this, but for some reason he has. And at this rate, I think Johnny Somali might reunite Korea and Japan to actually agree in hating him instead of each other. Like, he is such a nuisance to society, and at this point the world, that Japan and Korea might work together in order to prosecute this guy.
소말리, 우리 그냥 토킹, 오케이?
Yeah, we can talk. You don't need to fight.
No,
Okay.
no fight.
Okay, I'll say right now, I want to apologize to the Korean people. I was not aware of the significance of the statue. I was trying to get, you know what I mean? It was just entertainment for my audience. We're from America. We really don't know much about the Comfort Woman or much about the statue where we're from. So when I saw this statue, I came upon it on my stream. At first, I really didn't even know what it was.
And that right there, Johnny, is complete and utter bullshit. Like, you can sit here and try to pretend that you didn't know what it was at first, when I think you do, considering you went ahead and made a statement when you first walked up to it, saying that Japan hated it. And then after that, we even hear your buddy who's filming say to tell the audience why. Now, you don't actually do that, but it definitely implies that you know why. So you knew this shit was disrespectful as hell. I mean, just look at this. Bro is literally telling on himself.
Japan hates this thing. Tell them why. Tell them why. Let me sit down with this. Put it, hold it. Japan hates. Let me sit down with it. I don't know if it's respect to sit there.
Like, this man tells on himself so much that you know if he ends up going to prison, he is damn sure about to be a snitch. Bro's gonna be spilling everyone's info for less time. And even if we go ahead and give your dumbass benefit of the doubt on that one, you still continue to double down after you find out what the statue is about. Like, you literally double the hell down, so you can't say you didn't know. And when you double down, you even say that you're gonna go visit the other damn statues.
Because I saw that the Koreans were getting mad about that Comfort Woman statue shit, so I'm like, if I'm leaving soon, we might as well make these niggas, thank you for subscribing, we might as well make these niggas matter. So they gotta, I think the main Comfort Woman statue is in front of the Japanese embassy. So that is where I'm going right now. And I want to go into the Japanese embassy and I want to see if those niggas know who the fuck I am. And I want to ask these niggas if they're going to let me come back. You know, like, I got a new passport, I got a new look. Maybe the Japanese might let me go back. And the main Comfort Woman statue is there, so we're going to kiss that one too. Actually, Trell sent me the location of all 4 or 5 Comfort Woman statues in Seoul. So I think I'm going to try to hit all 4 today, like Legend of Zelda Link. And we're gonna leave an offering at every single one.
And this is what's crazy. He started doing all this shit because he thought he was gonna be able to leave. But they took away his ability to leave real damn quick. So this lying you're doing in your apology right now is not about to work out too well for you. Because not only did you go and screw with the one statue, you then proceed to go to the other statues and act like a jackass with them. So don't be trying to bullshit saying you didn't know. This man should drop your stupid ass again just for lying to his face.
Something that hurts the Korean pride and the Korean culture. In America, we have a different kind of comedy and we have a different kind of culture in America. And Korea, it's a totally different kind of place where this kind of behavior is not acceptable. I think killing and assault is too far for it, but I do see where they're coming from and I see how it hurt them as a country and it hurt their pride. And it wasn't my intention when I first came here. You know, I wanted to come here. When I first came to South Korea, I'm not gonna lie, I have like a lot of my other content before the statue incident has been great. All the Koreans have treated me great. Like, I've had nights out drinking with Koreans, partying with Koreans, and they've showed me the utmost hospitality and respect. So honestly, that I hit a nerve this much, I think it's good to be a man and apologize for what I've done.
And you know, if he would have just left it here and didn't have any of that other bullshit he was spewing, it wouldn't have been too bad either. And I think he is right, it is a completely different culture, but you need to be aware of that when you're going to a different place. Like, I'm not gonna go into Egypt and just start twerking on the fucking Sphinx. Like, there's just things that you should know not to do, and this is one of them. And I'd be willing to give you benefit of the doubt if you didn't also lie in this one and talk about your content was good beforehand. Because your content beforehand had you saying shit like this in different calls with other people.
I'm a 5'4" malnourished Ethiopian. I think maybe I was just born to be evil. I don't know. I don't like being good. I don't want to be. If I make content, I don't know. I like to make content that makes people violent. I hate Asians. I think all Asians need to be exterminated. Somebody please put this on the news tomorrow. If this is recorded, I hope the news puts this on the news. I want to start a race war. And I think I'm slowly, with every country I go and radicalize, I'm starting a race war. And for all you right-wing people that don't want immigrants to come to countries or not, the right wing should be promoting me and using me as an example.
So after saying some downright wild shit like that, you can't even begin to do this little fake ass apology. Now, it would have been one thing if you actually came forward and said, you know what, I thought it was funny to say these things, it wasn't. I thought my actions were funny, they weren't, and I'm sorry. But to sit here and act like you didn't know and it wasn't your intention to do this for the views is complete horseshit. And that's pretty much where his apology ends. With the only other thing to add is, you'll notice that he's bald here and he's shaved his head. And I've been hearing that this dumbass did it to avoid the drug test. Which, if that's true, all of this makes sense. Because my guy's IQ cannot be above room temp. And homie wouldn't know that they can just get hair from anywhere else on your body. But overall, it's just ridiculous, and I had to call out this absolutely pathetic apology. Because this guy is a first-team All-American capper, and excels at Yappington University, so I just gotta call the shit when I see it. But with that said, if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and I'm out. Watching Johnny Somali now try to lie to all of Korea, and peace.